See? Same technology Blue Beam used.
This was insane to see in person.
Consciousness. Sentience, internal, external, or virtual existence.
See, that technology is allowed to the public, right? So if it looks that advanced, imagine what Blue Beam is. When you see those planes that we call chemtrail planes, they're spraying all of these particles into the sky because it's making something like a holographic screen. That's what they're doing. They say that it's blocking the sun. It probably can do both because the particles, if you look it up, the stuff that they spray is a combination of broken down metals and glass. Yeah, the truth is out there. You just have to be willing to dig deep enough to find it. But yeah, if they have access to technology that look that realistic, imagine what Blue Beam can do. Welcome back to the channel, What Ifers. Today I got more weird and crazy TikToks that will alter your reality. So you're gonna wanna stay locked in, cause you ain't gonna believe this.
At some point, you're gonna have to go home to your kids, and you're gonna want to do your job. Maybe do a little bit of research. Hey, do you guys know about the World Health Council? The world treaty that they want to create and sign Canada on for the next pandemic? Do you guys even know about that? Maybe Google it when you get home. Google it when you get home. Do a little bit of investigation. I thought that's what cops do, is they do investigations. They research things. You guys are gonna have to start doing your jobs at some point.
I always felt like once you take a government job, and this is not all people, but I feel like once you take, because some people take government jobs because of the pay, but a lot of people take government jobs because of prestige. Oh, I have a government job, right? I work for the government, right? You feel important. But I always felt like once you accept a government job, you have denounced yourself as a citizen. Because when it comes down to standing up for humanity and stuff like that, are you as a government worker going to take the stand? I don't know, man. What y'all think? And this is not for everybody that works for the government, because like I said, some people take it because of the pay, and you got to take care of your family, so that's understood. But what about those who don't take it for the pay and for the prestige? Y'all get in the comments and let me know.
Have you ever seen this character, this guy in Half-Baked, in the movie Half-Baked? Check this out. All right, this is kind of creepy. This is like a glitch or a mistake. I don't know. I never seen nobody talking about it. When I discovered this, the internet wasn't what it is right now. If you've ever watched Half-Baked, this is part in the movie that has always bothered me since it came out. And I just went back to look for it, and I found it. The timestamp is 53:22, 53 minutes and 22 seconds. I got the video. I'm about to show you. And to me, it's like, it's crazy what happens in this scene, because I'm an editor. So like, it's just weird what happens in this scene, bro. And I'm gonna break it down for y'all. So check this out. All right, it happens very quick, very quick.
Meanwhile, I hadn't seen Mary Jane in like a week.
He's the only person in the frame.
Man, I missed. Then I started thinking about the fact that she was the only
Did you see
girl I
that?
slept with in 5
Did you see
years.
that? Bro, I know it's so quick. I know. Look, I got it. Look, check it out. All right, so I slow it down here just to show you guys what I'm talking about. When the taxi goes in front of him, did you see that? You see that guy? Do you see this guy right here? Who is this guy? Like, the taxi crosses in front of him, he's gone, and there's a guy there, and then he's there again. It's just that quick. So look, he walks past, it changes into this guy. It changes into this guy. Look at this guy. Who is this guy? And then it goes back, bro. It goes back. Look at the entire scene.
Jane in like a week.
It's so quick. Look.
Stop thinking about it, man. I missed
Look.
it. Then I stopped thinking about
It
the fact
happens
that she was
right
only
here.
girl I slept with in 5
That
years.
quick. That
Then I-
quick. And this is the guy, bro. Who is this guy, bro? And why does that happen there? It's so crazy.
I got to point out one thing. He said that he was an editor. Well, as an editor, you should have noticed literally 2 different scenes. A cab car passing the screen. And in one scene, Dave Chappelle was in the scene. In the other scene, it was a white guy. They may have timed the 2 different scenes differently, which made the white guy appear. But I mean, you had to really be paying attention to that to really see that. So, I mean, he got a good eye. But I mean, it's obvious why the white guy appeared there. Ain't nothing, man.
Have you ever heard of the Black Eye Club ritual within the elite? Well, as I usually do on my channel, let's expose the truth. Most conspiracy theorists believe that this is an initiation into the elite through assault by punching the individual in the eye. But stick around till the end because I'm going to tell you exactly how much more sinister it actually is. And I know this for a fact because I was offered it earlier this year. Long story short, I designed a product that was inspired based off biblical scripture. And for the safety of my patent, I decided to use just a normal Google image. This is not my actual product. This is just for aesthetics. However, I finally found a team of investors who were willing to invest, but under very strange circumstances. I developed a revolutionary natural shower head that has its own natural filtration system that I named Higraya. Long story short, I turned down a $5 million deal from these investors. Simply put, the lead investor was a perv and basically said that in order for this deal to go through, I also had to drink what is called the golden juice, which I'm not going to go into detail here on TikTok. But the other portion of the deal was I was not allowed to promote what this filtration system was doing to the water. But since I didn't sign the contract, I'm going to speak freely about exactly what this does. Basically, wood is already nature's water filter, and then it has an added filter in with it using natural minerals to filter out parasites and bacteria. It essentially allows nature to do its job with city water that is basically recycled water that's being redistributed back to you. And needless to say, city water has a horrible filtration system. But the minerals that I've implemented into this filter design is specifically towards a very specific type of parasite, which is known as the hydatiid worm. This parasite literally lives inside of the water, and then it can also get into pets as well as into humans. And the word hydatiid comes from the Greek word hydati. And the inspiration came from this Bible verse right here, which is Matthew chapter 3, verse 11. This is where John is yelling at the Pharisees and then also makes the reference to the axe that lies next to the root of the trees, which is what gave me the inspiration for trees being a natural water filter. But verse 11 takes a wild turn when you look at it in the Greek, where it's more properly translated as, I indeed you baptize with hydati or water, essentially accusing the Pharisees of baptizing people in parasitic water. And this is what the parasite actually looks like. This grotesque parasite literally lives inside your water and can easily find its way into your body. Now, this is the part that they don't want you to know about. They are not being punched in the eye, they are literally injecting this into their eye willingly, as the parasite literally thrives inside of fecal matter as well as the opposite, which would be the golden shower. They inject this parasite into their eye, and then it forms around the eye and then goes all the way back to the brainstem and essentially takes control of the host. And this is not a new practice. This is an occult practice that goes back to even the elites within biblical times. And it stems from Job chapter 4, where God is basically warning about this worm. Where starting in verse 20, the womb shall forget him, the worm shall feed sweetly on him, he shall be no more remembered, and wickedness shall be broken as a tree. Hence the tree filtration system. He evil entreateth the barren that beareth not, and doeth not good to the widow. Esoterically speaking, in reference of coming out of the fecal matter and into the brain. He draweth also the mighty with his power, he riseth up, and no man is sure of life. Because it's literally a parasite that is slowly unaliving you. So it be given him to be in safety. They make you think that being baptized or showering in city water is safe, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways, as they insert this evil parasite through the eye. I wasn't willing to sell out for this nonsense, but I do, however, have pre-orders available, and these are handcrafted, so I'm going to need people to be patient with me in making these. All you have to do is go to my page, click here, and then you're going to click the very top link, which will bring you here for the pre-order. And needless to say, I am looking for a new team of investors who believe in this product as much as I do, but also has good intentions and willing to get this out to the people who need it most. But for now, I'm willing to take this on solely by myself and make every single product by hand. Because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have had this idea or revelation in the first place. So what would you rather prefer, nature's shower designed by God, or the golden shower that's designed by the elites? So mote it be.
I got to say though, that was a damn good sales pitch. He almost had me until he said golden shower. He almost had me. See? Same technology Blue Beam used.
This was insane to see in person.
Consciousness. Sentience, internal, external, or virtual existence.
See, that technology is allowed to the public, right? So if it looks that advanced, imagine what Blue Beam is. When you see those planes that we call chemtrail planes, they're spraying all of these particles into the sky because it's making something like a holographic screen. That's what they're doing. They say that it's blocking the sun. It probably can do both because the particles, if you look it up, the stuff that they spray is a combination of broken down metals and glass. Yeah, the truth is out there. You just have to be willing to dig deep enough to find it. But yeah, if they have access to technology that look that realistic, imagine what Blue Beam can do. Oh my Here's God. Another instance. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Still too realistic.
Oh.
I just had to squeeze that in there real quick.
President Ronald Reagan in 1987 said something that towed the line between deeply prophetic and deeply weird. And he said it at the United Nations.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Ronald Reagan wishing an alien invasion on Earth because of the kumbaya effect it would have on relations among nations. One of the truly weirdest things he ever said in public.
Man.
Also, it's kind of coming true. That story's next.
You heard it from the horse's mouth, man. This is a project that's been in the works for decades, man. It ain't new. So when you look up, bro, like, ain't no telling what you might see. But are you gonna fall for it though? That's the question.
And guys, we're down here taking breaks. We're downtown Flint. Downtown. So check this out. That tree is clearly 300 years old. Probably 200. But look at what we found inside. What is this? I got some markings on it, but I don't know. That ain't natural. thoughts?
What I can definitely believe is that that is the top of a building or something, but pyramid, I don't know, that's a little far-fetched. What y'all think?
Check out this chronological map. It shows the start of time in 4000 for BC, apparently right through to the present day. There are some shocking truths on there, which I will be making more content on very soon. Don't worry. I'm going to add an interesting bit of information to this video, so make sure you watch till the end.
Well, that calendar definitely ain't old. You can look at it and tell it's not that old. Not sure what kind of calendar that it is. Looks more like a timeline calendar.
Check this out. In 1450 BC, okay, guess what was established? What is that word right there? See it in the middle of the screen? That's Palestine. Okay, let me go back here. The descendants of Canaan, us Arabs call it Canaan. Follow that orange line to 1451 BC, and boom, there's Palestine.
Interesting.
Going, here comes Judah. Of course, they're all Jews living in Palestine. And then here we are.
It explains a lot.
1900 BC, Israel was established. So if anyone tells you that Israel was before Palestine or that Palestine never existed, show them this video.
That's cap, because Israel was recently created.
There's Palestine.
Recently made a country.
And then there's Israel. You just won the argument. And guess what? This was before Christ was born. Where was Christ born? He was born in Palestine. This is when Christ was born. And there's Muhammad. There's when Islam was established. There's the Quran.
I need that calendar.
1600 AD.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like,
Definitely gotta
comment,
get
and
that.
follow at
I
Mike
gotta figure out where to
Priest
get
for
one of
more
those.
content like.
Somebody have a heart attack at the wheel?
For the past couple of weeks, there have been several videos of ships crashing into places, just like you see in the movie Leave the World Behind. But I guess that one of the creepiest and strangest videos of all is this one that I'm going to show you guys right now. Check this out.
Oh, they're gonna go right over them, dude. They're down. They're down. Hey!
Strange, right? There are divers down there. They can't get out of there. And, well, it's strange enough, but it gets even stranger.
Hey, assholes! There's nobody in there. There's nobody in there. There's nobody on deck. There's nobody in the wheelhouse.
It's a
What
ghost
the?
ship.
Oh my god. We have divers right there. They just ran them over.
Well, that's crazy,
Divers
though.
are safe. But even so, what the heck?
Those are our divers. Dive flags up.
the?
Somebody have a heart attack?
That's weird. That is really weird right there. What if it got caught in some type of time vortex where there were people in a parallel universe actually sailing the ship, and then this timeline it wasn't any, or they disappeared or something. You know, so much unknown out at the sea, like you don't know. Super dangerous because of the unknown, you know, but I don't know, man. What y'all think happened, bro? That was crazy.
The latest predictions from The Simpsons for 2024 are genuinely eerie. This one is absolutely disturbing. In season 24, episode 9, Homer Simpson is preparing a bunker fully stocked with provisions for his family, anticipating something dreadful on the horizon. Shortly after, a solar superstorm strikes Springfield, a silent, invisible tempest sweeping through the town, causing severe consequences. This catastrophic event leads to a complete shutdown. No internet, no electricity, everything comes to a standstill. A solar superstorm could wipe out the internet for weeks or even months or even forever. The portrayal of a solar superstorm in the episode aligns with the potential real-world impact such an event could have. Interestingly, NASA has recently made a shocking discovery, a massive hole in the sun called the Coronal Hole. This hole, large enough to engulf 60 Earth-sized planets, is currently releasing solar storms at a staggering speed of 1.8 million miles per hour, and could be headed to Earth fast. The last time the Earth experienced such a storm was in 1859. It was known as the Carrington Event. The 2024 solar storm is predicted to be 60 times more powerful than the 1859 solar storm, possibly the strongest ever recorded in history. Such solar storms can have catastrophic effects on Earth, affecting satellite power grids, GPS, and potentially wiping out hard drives and the entire internet permanently. Might take decades for us to recover. It's only a matter of time.
I'm ready for it. And that's what we need. That's the reset we need.
Break. Call sign. Verda. Break. 1.6877 repeating gigahertz. Break. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my victorious right hand. Do not be afraid, for I bring you good tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. Be not afraid. We are peaceful. 45, 61, 70. Break. Call sign.
I don't know. I feel like it might be a little fake. Who knows?
So we're all aware that Oprah is known for monetizing off of people's traumas. But take a look at what MoNique alleges that Oprah did to her.
Where Oprah Winfrey and I have a problem is Oprah Winfrey called us up and she said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for molesters. My brother Gerald is a charmer. So my mind thought was, because she said, do you want to come on? I said, I don't want nothing to do with that cat. I said, nigga, I know it's up to a scam, but people can change. And who am I to say he hasn't changed? It might really be different. So I don't want to get in the way of that. I just don't want nothing to do with it. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. No show will happen. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first. When I hung up that phone, brother, I looked at my husband and I said, that bitch is all right with me. That's a real...
She kept it
because she didn't have to call me up. She didn't have to say my brother was coming. She could have just ran with shit and let it happen. I dig her for that. Now I begin to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother. Now the reason why that means so much is because in the conversation we had about my brother, we then went deeper. And we began to talk about our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. And I shared my relationship with her about my mother, as she shared hers with me, which I will never repeat because she shared it with me about her mother and father. It was in our moment. I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt and, you know, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show Because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm going to have your mother, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is. If you had given me the opportunity, I would have said, I can't put my mother, that's still my mother.
Right.
Okay? Now here comes the show. And here comes the commercials. And now I'm starting to see my mother and my father and my other brother who was my manager. We didn't discuss that, Oprah.
So we're all aware that Oprah is known for monetizing off.
Hey, it's crazy because when MoNique came out telling the truth, everybody shunned her and talked bad about her and made it seem like she was crazy. Same way they did Kanye. And just recently, Taraji P. Henson went and had a breakdown on live TV about the business. That's why I respect MoNique. She's solid. She's a solid woman, man. And she's honest. Like, she ain't gonna lie. That's somebody I can trust and be around because I know that if it came down to it, she would be honest. She would be honest about everything. She don't do nothing behind your back. She's real. She's real with it. She's always been transparent about her relationship with her husband, even though people tried to drag her and her husband. Like, she was always honest about it, man. I respect her for that, man. She's owed a lot of apologies.
We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector.
We need a vast military-style campaign to marshal, and let me replay it so that you know I'm not making this up, okay? Let me just replay it. Listen to the last part of this. A vast military-style campaign to do what?
Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With trillions at his disposal.
Who's his? Look what he goes on to say.
Far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition.
Beyond what? Can I just say the last part of this? Beyond what?
Why is he just picking certain words?
It offers the only real prospect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders. It offers the only real...
Beyond the governments of the world's leaders.
Yeah, so his disposal. So, folks, this is absolutely remarkable. And I guarantee you, he said this on purpose. He's reading his notes. Who do you think told him to say this?
This was not a fluke. And by the way, there's only a few guys that have been yelling about this. Me, Tom, Andy Woods, a few others. And you know what they've been doing? They've been erasing this off the internet.
We talk about from Daniel, from Book of Revelation, from various passages, there's going to be a global system. It will rise out of Europe, and they will crown their leader, and it will be a he. It won't be a she, it'll be a he. And the Book of Revelation calls him Antichrist, or beast. He's going to be the most powerful leader the world has ever known. The Book of Revelation tells us, Revelation chapter 13, that nobody can make war with him. Who can stop him? Absolutely nobody.
People always misconstruing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's got a podcast or doing content creation, man. I respect it. But when you get to spreading misinformation, and this is what I was talking about on my last video, when you get to spreading misinformation, it causes fear and panic, y'all. A lot of us don't understand the power that we have behind the screen, right? People are sitting there and willing to listen to you because they take what you say for face value. You cannot make any mistakes and say the wrong thing. But then that's where greed come in, because people do things for views and the money. And I'm gonna be honest, bro. YouTube money ain't all that great. Let's be honest. Unless you got a lot of other avenues going on YouTube. To do those things, man, is diabolical in itself. If you look at the whole meeting, he was talking about bringing trillions of dollars into the economy at his disposal. And the number one word they paid attention to was his. And they were only talking about the small businesses, the people who need it. Because people can't, the small businesses aren't making enough money to go green. So they was trying to fund it, put the money in the economy, pump it into the economy. That's all he was saying. And this was COP26. And for those who don't know, COP26 is the conference of the parties, right? At the World Health Organization. I don't trust these people. Don't get me wrong. But when you're speaking straightforward, you know what straightforward is. But they try to make certain words seem like cold words, and it's not. But this is COP26. And it's been like 2 other COP meetings since then. I ain't seen no Antichrist. Let's play the whole video since they want to give you parts of it and pick certain words out of it. And I'm going to let y'all listen to it, and then you guys can pick what you want.
The scale and scope of the threat we face call for a global systems-level solution based on radically transforming our current fossil fuel-based economy to one that is genuinely renewable and sustainable. So, ladies and gentlemen, my plea today is for countries to come together to create the environment that enables every sector of industry to take the action required. We know this will take trillions, not billions of dollars. We also know that countries, many of whom are burdened by growing levels of debt, simply cannot afford to go green. Here we need a vast military-style campaign to marshal the strength of the global private sector. With trillions at his disposal.
Let me rewind that part back, because when he said that they need a military-like campaign, which means that they need a super strong campaign to support what they're trying to do. Okay, that's all that meant.
Sector, with trillions at his disposal, far beyond global GDP, and with the greatest respect, beyond even the governments of the world's leaders, it offers the only real prospect of achieving fundamental economic transition. More than 300 of the world's leading CEOs and institutional investors have told me that alongside the promises countries have made, their nationally determined contributions, they need clear market signals, agreed globally, so that they have the confidence to invest without the goalposts suddenly moving. This is the framework I've offered in the Terracotta Roadmap, created by my Sustainable Markets Initiative, with nearly 100 specific actions for acceleration. Together, we are working to drive trillions of dollars in support of transition across 10 of the most emitting and polluting industries. They include energy, agriculture, transportation, health systems, and fashion. The reality of today's global supply chains means that industry transition will affect every country and every producer in the world. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that the private sector is ready to play its part and to work with governments to find a way forward. Any leader who has had to confront such life-threatening challenges knows that the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of prevention. So I can only urge you, as the world's decision-makers, to find practical ways of overcoming differences so we can all get down to work together to rescue this precious planet and save the threatened future of our young people.
Now, with that being said, I don't agree, or I don't even think that they're pushing this money into the economy to help us, the people. I'm not saying that I agree with it. What I am saying is they ain't talking about no damn Antichrist.
All the wickedness that was being done behind the scenes is finally being exposed and coming to light. Just a couple days ago, after a very long wait, a judge finally ordered the release of over 170 names involved in the Jeffrey Epstein case,
involving dozens of underage girls when he committed suicide in a Manhattan jail in 2019. Prince Andrew and former Victoria's Secret CEO Les Wexner are among the 13 people who have tried unsuccessfully to remain anonymous. But others are asking too, There is Doe 107, who is begging the judge to remain secret, saying it would put her life at risk if her name was
I want to know who Doe 107 is.
The names are supposed to be released in early January of 2024. Leave a like, and then when they do release, I'll go through them all. But keep an eye on how a lot of these billionaires and celebrities will be moving in the next couple of days. If you see some of them moving a lot of money to a different country or building bunkers.
Well, those are facts. We already know that. But just know, there's a fake list floating around. This is the one.
A lot of you asked me who is on the list. Y'all asked me if it's Will Smith on the list. Yes, I do have the list. The list actually have been leaked years ago. Just know.
See, there's people like this that spreading misinformation, and then they wonder why they channels get taken down and get blocked. And also, let me say this for the people that get in the comments and tell me what I should do and what I shouldn't do on my channel. This is my platform. I know that I have guides and regulations that I have to follow. And I'm going to do that regardless to what you want to see, okay? So let me cook.
He has been seeing it, and he kept it undercover. But the list has been out there. I'm going to tell you the ones I see because it might be hard for y'all to see, and it is, because some of it can be blurred. But I'm going to tell you,
have this list,
and you can see it for yourself.
Showing the whole thing.
Simon Cowell, Stephanie Lynn Nix, Steven Spielberg, Stefan Taylor, Steve Bing, Steve Harvey, Stephen Colbert, Suzanne Rice, Sylvester Stallone, oh my God, Taylor Swift, Ted Turner, Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, Tony Blair, Tony Podesla, Troy Speed, Valerie Jarrett, The Fast and the Furious, Vin Diesel, Wanda Skies. Will Smith is there. Woody Allen is there. Will Ferrell is there. You can see it. Zoom in closer, you can see everything from that list, and I have more of it. I'm just going to only show you this, and you will be surprised with the other ones there. And yes, indeed, Jay-Z is there. Oprah is there. I don't want to expose too much, but that is just half of it. Wake up. All of them worship Satan. All of them been with Jeffrey Epstein. Simple as that. And I know y'all guys can't see it from the sides, but on the side, it's saying waiting for trial, waiting for tribunal, sentence for certain life in prison. Certain celebrities already have been sentenced, have already been caught, and a lot of them have been arrested. A lot of them, Miley Cyrus and more, they have been arrested. Miley Cyrus is there. A lot of them have been arrested. A lot of them is waiting for trial. It just hasn't been brought up to public attention. It has been covered up. But they're still behind the scenes. And I have more. But I ain't going to expose nothing more until January 2nd.
So yeah, he didn't speak about the ones they say that they have arrested and executed. Yeah. And that list is from 2022, and it was still a fake list. It's not a real list. It was a made up list. People that already had this list, because I had this list too. They said, okay, stuff is getting hot. I could put this list right back out and call it a leaked list and go viral. People wait for chances. They wait for the doors to open to go viral, man. That's why I don't do it for views. If y'all come view my channel, bro, I want it to be honest people, and I want my views to be honest, and that's what I'm going to do. The integrity of this channel will not be sacrificed for nothing and nobody. Sorry, can't do it. But yeah, that list is not real. I'll post it on here and you'll see it. You'll see where it says Will Smith was executed. Oh, a lot of y'all will be like, oh no, that's his clone. Bull crap. If you believe that, you need help. Real talk. You need help, man. Come on, dog.
Mark my words. 2024 will be the death of celebrity worship. Now, I had mentioned in a previous video about us entering the age of Aquarius and what that means for us collectively. Aquarius energy is all about information, and you're going to start seeing a lot of truths get exposed. A lot of darkness is coming to the light. In my previous video, when I was talking about the allegations with Diddy coming out and how it's not going to stop there with him and how there's going to be way more to come, look at what we're dealing with now. What did I say? Now, a whole lot of other names are about to be exposed in connection to Diddy. Epstein's list is about to be revealed, in like a week or two. This is very real, y'all. I really need everyone to release themselves of the shackles of celebrity worship. These are not good people, and their karma is coming to them because Aquarius energy is Saturn. Saturn is about karma. Hello. So honestly, you should really start emotionally detaching yourselves from a lot of your beloved faves because they're not good people. They are not who they have portrayed to be to the rest of the world, and everything is coming to light now. Also, remember that these people do not care about us, okay? Remember that you guys are the ones in control. You keep them rich. You keep them thriving. Keep all of that in mind when all these names start coming out. Celebrity worship is dead. We are in the age of authenticity now. People want realness. All that fake shit is done, even on social media. So 2024 is gonna look real different. So start detaching yourself from now. I know that there's certain names, you say those names and you get canceled because you can't even say nothing about them. But just keep in mind, a lot of your beloved faves, they are not good people. They're not. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Release it. Release it.
Yes, I'm with
Mark my words.
authenticity.
2024 will be the death of celebrity.
I'm with the authenticity of 2024, if that is to be what's going to happen, and the fall of celebrity worship, right? Worshiping idols. I'm with it. And that's the reason why I'm starting this channel off as being authentic. I'm not clout chasing, bro. I'm not going to do it. That's old. Everybody does it. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. If I see something that's the truth and I report on it, I honestly believed it. And I'm not scared to say I was wrong. But yeah, I'm all for it. 2024, authenticity. I'm all for it.
So everybody knows about the Yellowstone hot spring and how most of the pools are 150 degrees Fahrenheit and some even reaching up to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. But did you hear about the tragic horror stories of people actually going in them and being boiled alive? Well, today I'm going to tell you about 3 of those tragic stories, and they didn't end so well. So there was a dude named Colin Scott, right? He was 23, he had just graduated college in 2016, and decided after graduation, he was going to travel to his sister, and then they would take a trip to Yellowstone National Park. Once they arrived, all hell broke loose. So Colin and his sister started walking along the boardwalk, which you're supposed to stay on, but decided to go off the boardwalk and up a mountain. The plan was to find a hot spring cool enough to swim in. Mind you, there is multiple signs saying to stay on the boardwalk. Do not go on the grounds. There is hot steam in hot water that can melt you alive. So they find a hot spring, right? They're like, I think this is the one. Colin's like, yo, I'm about to go feel the hot spring, see if it's too hot. While reaching down to feel the temperature of the water, Colin slips. Colin, how do you do the most generic movie thing in the world? Mind you, his sister is filming everything. She frantically tried to grab him, but the water was over 212 degrees, guys. He was done as soon as he landed in that pool. She tried to call, but her phone wasn't having service. But eventually she got through. Rescuers came and they could not do anything. They couldn't even go in to retrieve Colin's body. And eventually it had fully dissolved. All that was left was like his boots. This is why you should listen to signs when they warn you not to do something. The next one is a little bit more sad and maybe a little bit more understandable. David Kerwin. Now David and his friend Ronald Ratliff went out to enjoy a beautiful day at Yellowstone, but they had also brought their dog, but responsibly left him in the car. After stopping to look at one of the springs, Colin's dog escaped the car. They should have left it locked. I don't know if it got through the window or the door, but they should have left it locked, and they should have had the door cracked a bit. The dog then ran towards them, became so excited, and jumped in the pool that they were looking at. The water was 202 degrees that day. You can guess what happened next. The dog was suffering, and David could no longer watch his dog suffer, so he starts taking off his clothes, getting ready to jump in. A bystander that was watching them said, "No, don't go in there." David goes, "Like hell I won't," and jumps in the pool. Just wings it. He tries his best to grab his dog. But let me remind you, that water is boiling hot. It was a wasted effort. And David's body was so badly burned that he was blind. And most of his skin was falling off his bone. A park visitor tried to comfort David when he got out of the pool. And when they tried to take off his shoe, the boot was melted to David. So when they were pulling off the shoe, his foot was also coming off with the boot. David was rushed to the hospital, but sadly succumbed to his injuries. Now, this one's a huge mystery, but y'all let me know in the comments what you think happened, because I suspect foul play. Don Cressy. In 1975, a few friends who were employees at the Yellowstone Spring decided they were gonna sneak out one night and go into one of the hot springs. Have a little party, you know, they knew the springs well, they knew which springs to jump into, which springs not to jump into, which ones were okay to swim in. So they invite Don, right? And Don's like, okay, I'm coming through. I'll see you guys tonight. He was a 21-year-old chef who's worked there as well for about 3 summers, so he knew the place like the back of his hand. Yeah, Don didn't end up making it to that party that night. Don was found by a child who was at the Yellowstone Springs floating in one of the hottest pools there. When the child got his parents and the parents called for help, police suspected that it was just an accident. But his co-workers suspect foul play because, one, Don didn't drive his car there, so somebody had to have drove Don to the Yellowstone Park. Also, the pool Don was in was so far away from the party's location. Why was he even that far? You see, police came up with the conclusion that Don had accidentally jumped into the wrong pool while looking for the party. Don had worked there for 3 summers. How could Don have jumped in the wrong pool? He knew the place like the back of his hand. Seems fishy to me.
That's strange. In this case, and in a lot of cases, I wouldn't say this, but gotta listen to science. In this case, some time ago.
That's God's work.
Oh, I remember this.
It's the devil's hand, and I...
Yeah, that's from the movie, The Planet of the Apes. It's the old version, though. It's the old version. You gotta be old enough to remember that. But if you like what you saw, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Head on over to the Discord. No videos that way that you want to see me react to. But until next time, folks.